When could we get the $1,000 to $2,000 stimulus check as announced by the president in what he is calling a distribution or dividend payment to the people of America? This is a really good question and exactly what I'm going to focus on for you here in this video, as requested by those of you in the community reaching out down below in the comment section. I want to answer that for you in this short video. Let's jump into the details. Now, first off, I also want to throw out, I am making this video based on comments I have received. I get comments about stimulus literally every single day, and I want to follow up to that here in this short video. I totally recognize a lot of people out there are really needing additional money right now, a one-off stimulus, ongoing monthly payments, a raise to their monthly benefit, whatever it happens to be. I totally get it. I see the financial hardship that is going on. I see a lot of people struggling. This is a real thing that a lot of people are really working with right now. And I want to bring you the latest updates, again, as requested. Now, I also want to throw out, we only have a couple weeks left of Medicare Annual Enrollment. If you have not taken action on your 2026 Medicare planning for the upcoming year, you've only got a couple weeks to go before Medicare Annual Enrollment completely ends, and then we're all locked in for the next year, okay? I've put together a very simple 3-step process for you. Number 1, grab your Medicare card. Number 2, grab your phone. Number 3, call Chapter. They will do all the work for you completely 100% for free. No work required on your behalf. I know that this is confusing. I know it's overwhelming. No work on your behalf. Just grab your Medicare card, grab your phone, call Chapter. They will do the rest for you. Take that time to do that because you're going to run out of time in just a couple weeks. And honestly, the last week, they're going to be swamped with calls. I'm trying to help you out right here, right now. Take advantage of that while you still have time. Otherwise, let me know how it goes down below after you talk to them, and I'd love to give you a shout out and feature you in an upcoming video. Just make sure to use the word chapter within your comment, as that's the word that I search for. Anyway, just trying to help you out here, save some money. I totally recognize everybody needs more money right now. That's one way you could absolutely do it. Potentially, the average person is saving $1,100 when they call Chapter, which is honestly absolutely amazing. Anyway, okay, let's talk about the question that I get, again, all the time. I get questions about stimulus literally daily. I'll see questions down below on this video as well saying, when are we going to get it? And I'm literally answering that in this video. I guarantee you I will see that comment down below, okay? I've been doing this long enough that I know that that comment's going to come in. Anyway, at this point, I think we all recognize there's not a stimulus right now, okay? I don't think that's any mystery. I don't think anybody's like in the dark on this. We all recognize there's no stimulus check approved at this moment, okay? We all know that. But again, I want to throw that out there really quickly so that, there's no confusion around this. However, as you've heard me mention before in other videos, so far this year, obviously there's not much left of 2025 to go, right? Literally weeks. We can count it down on weeks. How many weeks are left of this year? But here's the deal. This year, since inauguration, the president has endorsed at least 3 different types of distributions to us in the form of stimulus, as you've heard me talk about before in other videos, right? The $5,000 back in February, the $600 back in August, and most recently in early October, the $1,000 to $2,000 as he introduced in a interview, the $1,000 to $2,000 distribution dividend to the people of America, okay? In fact, not that long ago, just a few days ago, I was out in a separate video because I had a bunch of people reaching out saying, hey, where's this clip? I want to hear the president say it for himself. So I literally shared that in a video not that many days ago. So you can check that video out if you want. But anyway, now the big question comes in, when? So many people want to know when. When are we going to get it? Who's going to get it? How much is it really going to be? All these details like this. I'm going to say this. All of this is still up in the air, but based on what we know right now, let's kind of look through the details and maybe put some information behind this and see, like, when could something like this actually be arriving for people, okay? And again, we don't know. It's speculation at this point, but let's just kind of look through the details. Number 1, we want to look through all the different catalysts that are out there that could possibly distribute any type of money back to us, okay? There's a lot of them, by the way. What I mean by catalyst is, what is the reason behind the distribution of any kind of money? What is kind of the thing that happens that they say, okay, that's it, we need to send out money, okay? That's what I mean by catalyst. Anyway, so there's many different things. Obviously, you heard me say this many times over the years, which is, the distribution of stimulus is always pegged to the economy every single time. It's economically based every single time. When the economy is not doing well, they distribute stimulus, okay? Now, back in, the end of October, we also heard out of the Federal Reserve that they're going to be stopping basically quantitative tightening. In other words, what that means is they're going to stop basically removing money from the system, and they're going to start printing money again, printing money. When the Federal Reserve starts printing money, what that means is that that's massively stimulative to the overall economy, okay? Now, that's one way that they stimulate the economy. Another way that they stimulate the economy is basically printing up money and handing it out to us in the form of rebates, distributions, dividends, or stimulus that we're all so familiar with. That's another way that they do this. Okay, but one thing is that the economy is not doing great. Okay, we have this massive divide. You look at some of the reports and they say, oh, look, the economy is booming. It is stronger than ever. But if you look at the real data that's coming out, and if you look at real information that's coming out, it's honestly not that great, okay? And again, some people are doing very well in this economy. The majority of people are not doing well financially at all. That's the situation, okay? So when you look at the economic data, it's actually not very good at all. It's actually very bad. Why do you think, with the government shutdown, that they suppressed so much data that was supposed to come out? I said this for a while. I said this for basically the entire month of October. I said, look, it's the suppression of data is why the government shutdown is happening. They don't want to release the bad jobs numbers. They don't want to release the bad inflation numbers. They don't want to release all this bad economic data because if we don't have it, we can't really gauge how bad the economy is really doing. Therefore, what they do, shut the government down, suppress the data, therefore it can't be released. Interesting how that works, right? And I said that a bunch of times through the month of October. I said that's what's happening based on what we're seeing. It's very obvious why this whole shutdown thing is happening, right? So they don't have to release data. Anyway, so the economy is not doing great. When all of this comes forward and transpires to the point where it's like, whoa, economy's going down super fast, that is one major catalyst. Now, when could that possibly happen? Well, things unravel relatively quickly, right? Not only that, global tensions as well. Global tensions could really unravel this thing very, very quickly as well. Next, the tariffs, okay? The tariffs. You heard me talk about the tariffs a lot. In fact, this $1,000 to $2,000 dividend distribution that the president has talked about, this would be paid for out of the tariffs, according to what they're telling us. And again, remember, the tariffs are bringing in roughly $350 billion or about $1 billion a day. $350 billion a year, a year, about $30 billion a month, about $1 billion a day is how much they're bringing in through the tariffs. Okay, well, the whole point of this is to distribute a portion of that back to us in the form of this distribution, dividend, whatever you want to call it. Stimulus is literally what it comes down to, okay? Now, that is another one as well. The tariffs are likely going to unravel the economy in a pretty big way. It's not very healthy for the economy to have these tariffs because it's just raising prices on everything. The more that prices go up, more that consumers pull back on spending, right? And remember, consumer spending, business spending is literally what runs the economy. So we all recognize this. We're all personally experiencing this. That's that. Now next, remember, November of next year as well, 2026, the midterm elections. That's another really big one as well. That's a major catalyst coming up because what do they do in front of elections? And again, this is not a political video. This is not a political statement. This is the fact. What do they do in front of elections? They try to bribe us. And how do they do it? A lot of times they do it through money, right? Money's a great bribe. Anyway, that's one way that they do this is they throw a little rebate out. They throw a little stimulus. They say, hey, give us those two people and we'll give you this $1,400. Oh, whoops. Did I really just say that? Because that's actually what happened a few years ago. Literally why we got the $1,400. It was literally a bribe. But as I've said before in other videos, I don't mind a bribe, provided the hands, gives us some money. And again, whether we actually agree with what they're doing or not, and they want to use us by giving us some money, by all means, use us and give us some money. At least, I'm fine with that. Give us some money, and I'll gladly spend that money, just like they want us to, because that's literally the point of stimulus, okay? But my point being is that the midterm elections are coming up as well. Do you think that they're maybe going to try to bribe us before then? Do you think maybe some of this talk that's coming out on these three different types of distributions, rebates, stimulus have possibly been kind of, chumming the waters a little bit, right? As in throwing a little bait out and saying, look, we want to give you some stimulus. We want to give you a rebate. We want to give you a dividend, a distribution. Do you think? It would seem that way based on what's happening, right? So anyway, we have multiple different catalysts that are happening here. Now, when? Okay, coming back to the big question here is when. A lot of people want to know when. We don't have like an exact date, an exact time frame, an exact week, or even month of when something could happen. But all I'm saying is that when it comes down to the overall economy, things generally spiral out of control relatively fast, right? It's slow getting there, but then all of a sudden things start to unravel really quickly. And then all of a sudden it's like, whoa, we've got a situation on our hand. Lawmakers scramble around and they approve multiple trillions of dollars worth of stimulus. And then that's what happens. Example being, think of this. And some of you might think, oh no, this was a totally different situation. Not really. They all play out the same way. If you want to look back and look in history on this, look back to 2007, 2008, 2009. Well, we were already in the depths of it in basically 2008, but it all started basically the end of 2007. Okay, so that, or even the dot-com bubble in 2000, right? It takes a while to lead up to it, but then when things start to unravel, it unravels very quickly. But the point that I wanted to make was think back to 2020. What happened? January, February, we're all just kind of like living our lives, nothing weird. And all of a sudden, like February, they start canceling things and like, canceling sporting events and different big gatherings and things. And we're like, this is kind of weird. What's going on here, right? And then all of a sudden March hits. And then what do we tell us? Stay home, don't move a muscle. And we're going to approve $2.3 trillion, and we're going to call it the CARES Act. Oh, and by the way, it has $1,200 stimulus checks in it. Okay, this literally happened. Look it up if you don't believe me. It happened just a few years ago in 2020. Point being is that things were fine, and then all of a sudden things were not fine, and they had a $2.3 trillion stimulus package that they passed in a matter of weeks, and it was signed into law, and stimulus were hitting our bank accounts just weeks later. It happened very, very quickly. Same thing happened in 2007 when the economy imploded because of the subprime bust, right? That whole thing. The dot-com bubble, same thing back in 2000. Same thing. It happens slowly getting there, and then all of a sudden, whack, bad situation. We're basically living through the same situation right here, right now. We got this huge AI boom, which is actually not, it's just a massive bubble being inflated. Everybody's saying, oh no, it's different this time. Really? Come on. It's not that different this time. It's the same old thing. We're seeing it play out from a different reason. AI this time, right? Not only that, the private credit market is also imploding right now. We've seen multiple major corporate bankruptcies lately, and that may be the next catalyst that takes this whole economy down and pushes us into a massive recession, which ultimately leads the Fed to print multiple trillions of dollars, lawmakers to approve trillions of dollars worth of stimulus, and that's when all this happens, okay? So long story short is that we have many, many, many different catalysts on our doorstep right here, right now that may predicate/distribute money to us in the form of stimulus. I know that a lot of you want to hear like an exact date. Tell us an exact date when this is going to come out. I don't have that for you, and nobody does. Nobody has an exact date. But what we can do is watch the different data that's coming out. What's happening in the real economy, not what the media is telling us, because the media, we all know how that goes, right? The media tells us one thing, which generally is not true. The economic data coming out of the government is not always that true. We know that, right? Sometimes they fudge the numbers to make it look like, oh, we're so strong, we're so resilient right now, economy is booming. And we're all looking around saying, where? Who? Tell us somebody, where? Who is doing all this? Because the vast majority of the population is not feeling that way or in agreement with what they're actually saying. So, point is that any of this could unravel. We've got a lot of major catalysts here. Anything could be the straw that ultimately breaks the camel's back, called the economy, and then all of a sudden sends the sucker lower. Does that kind of make sense? And remember, that's basically all it comes down to. Outside of any kind of bribe that may be issued, sometime next year with the midterm elections coming up, other than that, it's really going to come down to the overall economy is really what it is. And again, you've heard me say this many, many times before, but that's really what we need to come and look at. Now, also, I want to throw out something super fast here as well, which is this. The holiday shopping season is practically upon us. And again, I'm not saying you have to go out and buy stuff. I'm just saying this much. This is also going to be a very good tell as far as the overall health of the consumer and the economy. If the consumer does not show up for the holiday shopping season and does not spend all kinds of money on frivolous things and a bunch of stuff we don't need, call it gifts or whatever, if the consumer does not show up, and that's reflected in the economic data, and it's certainly going to be felt by the retailers, if that does not show up, it's basically going to solidify exactly what we've been talking about, exactly what we've been hearing, exactly what we knew was coming, which is nobody has any money anymore. Everybody is tapped out. If that comes in, say late December, early January, when we start to get all this data that comes out about the holiday shopping season, and wait, oh, the consumers don't have any money, therefore the retailers are getting hit by this, the overall economy is getting hit by this. When we see all this data come out, it could get really ugly really fast, because then again, it's just solidifying everything that we've already known, which is nobody has any money. And realistically, the only thing still driving this economy right now, based on what we're seeing in the data, is high-income people, like a small percentage of high-income people, because realistically, the population does not have that many high-income people in it, right? It's like 10, 15, 25% of our population is maybe like considered a high-ish income, right? They're the ones that are driving this economy right now, plus spending on AI. If any of that dries up, it's not going to be good. It's going to be bad. Bad for the economy, good for stimulus. Does that kind of make sense, right? So realistically, if I had to put a timeline behind this, okay, so for a lot of you want to know, just give us a timeline, just give us a date. I'm not going to give you a date because I don't know, and that'd be ridiculous of me to do. It'd be ridiculous for anybody to give an exact date right now because nobody knows that answer, okay? But a timeline that I would say is basically any time between now and the midterms next year is basically like the hotbed for any type of stimulus to be distributed. And the reason that I say that is for all the catalysts and the reason that I just gave you in this video, along with the midterms on top of that, that would be the time, okay? Obviously, I totally recognize sooner versus later would be better. Totally recognize that. But this is just kind of where we're at as of right now, based on the information that we have upon us, okay? Obviously, we could get more economic data that comes out and shows, private credit market is imploding, the whole thing's going down. Okay, fine. Then I would say the timeline's going to get significantly sooner than, in the next year or 11 months or so, if that kind of makes sense, right? Anyway, and I know that's a huge range, but nobody really knows. If anybody comes out in the tube here and says, oh, it's next week, it's next month, they're full of it. Nobody knows that. Nobody knows that at all. I'm literally giving you the information based on what we know as of right here, right now, just looking at all the different catalysts, looking at the timeline that we have here, and that's kind of where we're at as of now. Does that kind of make sense? Anyway, obviously, I'm watching everything very closely every single day. I'll continue to bring you the details, the data. As we get more information out, I'll continue to watch everything very closely, okay? Oh, by the way, the government shutdown, I kind of alluded to this earlier, that did not help the economy whatsoever at all either, okay? Just added one more thing to the list that we can say, oh, one more little detail that's weakening the economy a little more, right? Anyway, obviously, I'm going to continue watching everything very, very closely. When we get any updates on anything, I'll continue to keep you updated. If you have not done so, please make sure to subscribe, 100% free, big subscribe button down below. I hope this answers it for you. And again, I know there's going to be some people out there that are irritated saying, you didn't give us an answer of when. Nobody knows. That's all. That's all I'm saying is nobody knows, but I'm saying a timeline within the next 11-ish months or so would be your best bet for any type of money to be distributed. Okay, that's what I'm saying. And I know that's a very long range. I'm just saying that is by far your best bet is in the next 11-ish or so months, okay? And again, it would be foolish for me to sit here and say an exact date because nobody has an exact date. Nobody even has an exact month or anything like that. I'm just giving you the details that are out there and what we know as of right now. I will keep you posted with any further information that comes out, anything mentioned by the president or the administration, any further action on this, anything out of lawmakers, I will bring it to your attention immediately. I've been doing it for years, and obviously I will continue to do that. I hope this helps you, okay? Anyway, again, please subscribe if you're new here. Otherwise, share the video, big share button right down below. Thank you, appreciate that. Otherwise, if you are on Medicare, and again, you have not taken action on your 2026 Medicare planning, I'm not sure what you're waiting for. Please don't take any more time off. Get this behind you. If you do not take action, let me warn you. A lot of these plans are going away. You may get automatically put onto a different plan that's not going to be a good fit for you, and you may learn the hard way next year that you're not properly covered. I'm not trying to scare anybody. I'm just saying, please do not take that risk. It is not worth it. Follow the 3-step process I gave you earlier, okay? I put the 3-step process together because I've had people reaching out saying, oh, I don't want to do that. Dude, it's like the easiest thing in the world. Grab your Medicare card, number 1. Number 2, grab your phone. Number 3, call Chapter, right there. Phone number's on the screen. It's also linked down below in the description at the top of the comment section. Call them. They will do all the work. You don't have to do any work whatsoever. Answer a couple simple questions. They will do all the work, and then ultimately it's up to you. A matter of minutes, maybe 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes based on your situation. You can have this whole thing done, and you don't have to do anything other than literally make a phone call and talk into the phone and answer some questions. That's literally it, okay? Anyway, could not possibly be easier, and it's 100% free. Take advantage of that. Otherwise, I hope this helps you. Drop your comments, your questions, your feedback down below. And I hope this helps. I'll catch you again later in the next video. Please subscribe. Please share the video. Please share that phone number with anybody you know on Medicare to Chapter so they can also get some free help. And after you share that, well, then you get to be the hero. You get all the accolades. You get the trophy. You get the medal. And then when they save a bunch of money like you probably could do too, then obviously then they're very happy. And again, you get to be that hero. Anyway, enjoy your day. I hope this helps you, and I'll catch you again later in the next video. See you for now.